This man just uploaded the clearest images of the Black Knight satellite. He detailed that it briefly showed up at the International Space Station, and then, immediately after it appeared on screen, the cameras were turned off. The International Space Station orbits high above the Earth, but it has occasionally become a backdrop for a perplexing phenomenon: the apparent shutdown of cameras during mysterious sightings. The man who uploaded the photograph said that he often monitors the live feed from the International Space Station's cameras. He detailed that he has developed an interest in space exploration and the mysteries that lay beyond Earth's atmosphere. As he watched the International Space Station orbiting high above the planet, a flicker of movement caught his attention. It was a faint, enigmatic shape, a fleeting shadow against the backdrop of stars. As he took a closer look, he said that the shape grew more distinct, taking on an unmistakable form: a satellite, but not just any satellite. He said that it reminded him of the legendary Black Knight satellite, a mysterious object rumored to have been orbiting Earth for centuries. He quickly reached for his phone, snapping a quick picture of the screen. He knew that such moments were fleeting, and he wanted to capture this extraordinary encounter. The satellite's silhouette was stark against the inky expanse of space, a dark enigma against the backdrop of stars. He shared the image on social media, inviting others to witness the anomaly for themselves. Interestingly, many people are calling this the clearest photograph of the Black Knight satellite. For those unaware, the origin of the Black Knight satellite remains shrouded in uncertainty, with no definitive explanation for its inception. However, the idea is quite straightforward. An unidentified object has purportedly been circling the Earth for thousands of years. According to some, the mysterious object has allegedly been in Earth's orbit for over 13,000 years. The claim made was quite bold, but it was just the most recent development in a long-standing theory that originates from as early as 1973. This theory has gained significant attention and has undergone various shifts and updates over the years. The premise suggests that a spacecraft from an advanced civilization has been circling Earth since ancient times, specifically the Stone Age. There is a faction of individuals who firmly believe that NASA and governments around the world have actively worked together to conceal this fact from the public. However, it is worth noting that experts counter these claims by asserting that the alleged spacecraft sightings and encounters can be attributed to misinterpretations of space debris and radio signals. The Black Knight satellite, believed to exist by its proponents, can trace its evidence back to the 19th century. During this time, the renowned scientist Nikola Tesla experienced a series of peculiar radio transmissions at his laboratory in Colorado Springs. These transmissions have been connected to the mysterious satellite. Moreover, the evidence for the Black Knight satellite extends all the way to a perplexing NASA photograph taken in 1998, which captured an enigmatic object orbiting in space. This comprehensive and in-depth exploration enriches our understanding of the Black Knight satellite phenomenon, delving into its historical origins and intriguing photographic documentation. The existence of the Black Knight satellite is supported by a combination of various individual occurrences spanning across history, which researchers and theorists have compiled and analyzed over the course of the last century. These numerous events have been meticulously collected, studied, and pieced together to form a compelling body of evidence that sheds light on this mysterious object. Throughout history, numerous theories and ideas have been retroactively introduced, such as the intriguing proposition that the renowned physicist Nikola Tesla inadvertently stumbled upon mysterious signals emanating from an unknown entity back in 1899. When Nikola Tesla was conducting his experiments in his laboratory in Colorado, he successfully developed a remarkably sensitive wireless radio receiver. During his experimentation, he was astonished to receive a sequence of inexplicable electrical signals. Tesla was captivated by the idea that these signals were not random occurrences, but rather a deliberate form of communication. In fact, he interpreted these mysterious signals as numerical codes, leading him to believe that they originated from highly intelligent beings residing on the planet Mars. Black Knight enthusiasts firmly believe that the assertions made by the individual in question were erroneous. According to their perspective, The signals he intercepted were actually the initial endeavor by advanced beings present on the satellite to establish communication with human beings residing on Earth. In 1927, a significant development occurred that was seen as further proof by believers in the field. Jørgen Hals, a Norwegian engineer, made a surprising discovery during his experiments on radio transmission. While conducting these experiments, Hals noticed something extraordinary, a series of signal echoes that inexplicably returned 3 seconds after he had completed his transmission. These peculiar phenomena, known as long-delayed echoes, have been consistently observed since then. Yet their occurrence remains a mystery without a complete explanation. This event in 1927 marked a crucial moment for those who held the belief in this phenomena. In 1954, Donald Keyhoe, a notable researcher into the unknown, made a claim that was subsequently published by the New York Times. According to Keyhoe, a source from the Pentagon had confirmed the existence of 2 natural satellites in orbit around the Earth. In response to this claim, the Army Office of Ordnance Research had formed a team of astronomers to investigate the presence of any near-Earth satellites. However, the project leaders denied having discovered any such satellites, contradicting Keyhoe's assertion. This incident ignited a significant intrigue and debate within the scientific community and the public regarding the existence of these alleged natural satellites. Those who researched this topic viewed the publication and subsequent denial of the 1954 article not only as proof of the existence of the Black Knight satellite, but also as evidence of the government trying to conceal it. The introduction of actual satellites by Russia in 1957 and the United States in 1958 further complicated the situation, creating more confusion and uncertainty surrounding the matter. During an event that took place on February 11, 1960, the US Navy detected a peculiar and unidentifiable object on their radar. At that time, the Department of Defense claimed that this mysterious object was nothing more than space debris originating from an Air Force Discoverer satellite. However, declassified documents from the Pentagon have since revealed the truth. The Defense Department deliberately deceived the public by falsely attributing the object to space debris. In reality, this enigmatic object was an American reconnaissance satellite that had been launched specifically for the purpose of gathering intelligence on Russia. In 1973, an intriguing theory emerged from the mind of Duncan Lunan, a renowned science fiction writer. This theory brought together all the previously mentioned events, giving rise to a captivating narrative. In an interview with Spaceflight magazine, Lunan made a fascinating assertion that an unidentified object in space that has been in orbit around Earth for 13,000 years was the reason behind the peculiar sightings and signals. He went a step further to state that he had successfully deciphered these signals as a message, revealing that they were actually instructions from an advanced civilization. Lunan eventually retracted his extravagant assertion and assertively expressed his complete disinterest in engaging with the unfounded notion of the Black Knight satellite. NASA has provided a thorough and detailed explanation regarding the photo in question. Apparently, during the construction phase of the International Space Station, NASA dispatched the inaugural Space Shuttle mission to assist with the ongoing development and assembly process. This comprehensive explanation sheds light on the circumstances surrounding the photo and helps us understand the purpose and significance of the mission in contributing to the construction of the space station. The Space Shuttle carried various equipment, including 4 thermal blanket covers that were intended to provide insulation for the station's trunnion pins. However, during a spacewalk, one of these blankets became detached and drifted away. This incident raised concerns regarding the potential impact on the station's overall thermal regulation system and the stability of the trunnion pins. So, as of right now, there's many who say that the Black Knight is genuine, but note that it's just a piece of space debris. However, there's others who don't believe in this theory. Unidentified objects, if piloted by advanced civilizations, could possess insatiable scientific curiosity about human achievements and space exploration. The International Space Station represents a pinnacle of human engineering and international cooperation, offering insights into our technological advancements, methods of life support, and sustainable living in the harsh environment of space. Advanced beings might observe the space station to understand our capabilities and approaches to overcoming the challenges of long-duration space missions. The International Space Station serves as a microcosm of human society, with astronauts from different countries living and working together in a confined space. Unidentified objects might be interested in observing human interactions, psychology, and how individuals adapt to the challenges of isolation and the constraints of a space environment. These observations could provide insights into the dynamics of human behavior and cooperation on a cosmic scale. From a more speculative perspective, these objects might be engaged in strategic reconnaissance, monitoring human activities in space for reasons unknown to us. They could be gauging our technological capabilities, tracking the evolution of our space exploration programs, or assessing potential threats arising from our ventures beyond Earth's atmosphere. The space station, being a prominent space outpost, could attract their attention as a focal point of human space endeavors. Recently, an image of a large spherical object passing in front of the Sun has been shared around social media, and some who have seen it believe that it represents an unidentified object. The recent object's appearance in our solar system has raised concerns among enthusiasts who speculate that it could be a rogue planet or a massive spaceship. Interestingly, those who study the unknown have said that this is a relatively common occurrence. Reports of strange anomalies near the Sun often involve objects that appear to be spherical, disc-shaped, or even elongated. These objects are often described as having a metallic or reflective appearance and are observed in the vicinity of solar flares or other solar activities. Some witnesses have reported seeing these objects enter or exit the Sun's surface, while others claim they are simply hovering or moving in close proximity to it. Those who measured the object said that it was massive, and noted that it only appeared on screen for a matter of seconds. Although it is not known who originally uploaded the image, it's reported that they quickly took a screenshot before the strange object vanished. The phenomenon of unidentified objects has fascinated and intrigued people for decades. While most sightings occur within Earth's atmosphere, there have been numerous reports being observed in outer space. These alleged sightings have raised questions about the existence of advanced life and the possibility of advanced civilizations beyond our planet. However, NASA said that the blue sphere that appears in some images captured by NASA's spacecraft is not an actual physical object, but rather an unintended result of a peculiar effect in the camera's mechanism. As the camera observes the Sun's surface and transmits its images to Earth, the blue sphere emerges as an unexpected outcome of the camera's operation. NASA has explained that the sensor responsible for processing images before dissemination can occasionally become overwhelmed, distorting the images and misrepresenting things that do not exist. Consequently, the purported blue sphere that enthusiasts were intrigued by does not exist, which implies that the actuality is less fascinating than anticipated. According to NASA's website, there are times when the image processor on board the spacecraft becomes overloaded and generates distorted images. Typically, these images appear as though they are from a different telescope rather than the one they were taken with. NASA said that occasionally, the heliospheric imager telescopes capture double exposures in their images, where multiple telescope data are combined due to the method of creating the images by adding up numerous exposures. It seems that the image displays two photos of the Sun blending together. Although NASA said that this explains these types of sightings, some theorists speculate that objects seen near the Sun could be evidence of advanced technology. According to this perspective, these objects could be spacecraft or probes sent by an advanced civilization to harness energy from the Sun or to monitor our solar system. Proponents of this theory argue that the Sun's immense energy and resources would be highly valuable to advanced civilizations, and it would make sense for them to establish a presence near our star. However, it is important to approach these claims with a critical mindset. The lack of substantial evidence and the potential for misinterpretation of visual phenomena make it challenging to draw definitive conclusions about the nature and origin of these alleged objects near the Sun. Skeptics argue that most of these sightings can be explained by known natural phenomena or camera artifacts, and that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Moreover, the harsh conditions near the Sun, including intense heat, radiation, and gravitational forces, pose significant challenges for any object or spacecraft to approach it closely. To gain a better understanding of these sightings, further scientific investigation is necessary. Advanced imaging technologies, such as high-resolution cameras and spectroscopic instruments, could be employed to capture more detailed and accurate data of these alleged objects near the Sun. Additionally, coordinated observations from multiple space-based and ground-based observatories could help validate or debunk the claims. As of right now, the sightings of unidentified objects near the Sun have sparked curiosity and debate within certain communities. While some theories suggest natural phenomena or camera artifacts as explanations, others propose the involvement of advanced technology. However, the lack of substantial evidence and the challenging conditions near the Sun make it difficult to reach definitive conclusions. Further scientific investigation and rigorous analysis are necessary to shed light on the true nature of these alleged sightings and to discern fact from fiction.
SIMP J01365663 plus 0933473. You may be wondering what exactly this refers to. Well, scientists have discovered a huge rogue object floating around our stellar neighborhood with an extremely strong magnetic field. The most intriguing part is that it is in no way at all attached to any other object out in space. In other words, it does not orbit a parent star of any kind. Using the Very Large Array Radio Telescope, astronomers were able to detect the miscellaneous object, which sits 20 light-years away from Earth. Aside from the discovery itself, this is of huge scientific importance as it represents the first planetary mass object which has been detected using radio telescope. With its dimensions only just making it into the planetary classification bracket, the new discovery is 12.7 times more massive than Jupiter, making it so big that it verges on being more like a brown dwarf, also known as a failed star. According to the definition presented by IAW Working Group on Extrasolar Planets, a brown dwarf more specifically refers to an object too small to produce hydrogen fusion, the dominant energy-producing method seen in stars, but is still large enough for deuterium fusion, a process crucial to the formation of new stars. They tend to range in sizes between 13 to 80 times the mass of Jupiter. Being 12.7 times larger, SIMP J01365663 plus 0933473 sits on the border of planet versus brown dwarf, and an astronomer from Arizona State University has said that this phenomenon could give invaluable insight into understanding the magnetic processes of both stars and planets. The planetary mass discovered, as mentioned, has a very strong surrounding magnetic field. This supports newer theories that brown dwarfs do engage in magnetic activities, whereas up to 2001 it was thought they did not emit any radio waves. In fact, the magnetic field that astronomers found in this case was a whopping 200 times the strength of Jupiter's own magnetic field. It's suggested that its radius is only 1.22 times the size of Jupiter's, despite being significantly more massive, and estimates suggest that it is only about 200 million years old. In extraterrestrial terms, this makes it an infant, which makes sense considering it was found in a cluster of very young stars. With the potential for this discovery to really allow scientists to make headway in understanding magnetic fields of planets, stars, and gas giants, it is an exciting time for astronomers, and who knows what else lies lurking in space for us to find. Tatooine-like planet spotted from Earth, Kepler-16b. We often wonder what it would be like for aspects of our favourite films to come to life. We might be far away from schools full of wizards or the competition of the Hunger Games, but we might have stumbled across a real-life Tatooine. Whilst it is an incredible claim to have allegedly found a setting from such a huge sci-fi franchise, the home of Luke Skywalker might not be all too different than Kepler-16b. Much like Tatooine, if you were to stand on the surface of Kepler-16b, there would be two sunsets taking place. Kepler-16b is an uncommon, rare exoplanet. It orbits two stars at once, with these two stars also orbiting one another. This is what is known as a binary star system, and is the same explanation given to the two sunsets on Tatooine in Star Wars.
So far, we have only made observations using the Kepler Space Telescope based in France at the Observatoire de Haute-Provence. The telescope clocking in at 193 centimeters was used, and the team of astronomers applied the radial velocity method, allowing for the planet to be detected within the already known system. The radial velocity method involved observing the change in the velocity of a star as the planet orbits around it. When this dips, it is assumed something has passed by, hopefully, and it was in this case, an exoplanet. It is a significant detail that Kepler-16b was discovered using this method. It is a reminder and proof that we do not need to send expensive, extravagant spacecrafts off in order to gain valuable information and make significant advancements. It is more than possible to use these more traditional methods to stumble across something great. One might argue that even without considering the cost, time, and overall inefficiency of sending spacecrafts, that the radial velocity method might still come out as a more practical choice. This method is typically more sensitive to and easily impacted by the other planets in a system, signaling to us where additional bodies we might not have considered might be. It also clues us in on the mass of a planet, providing measurements of what may be considered a planet's most fundamental property. Having demonstrated the success and effectiveness of using radial velocity on Kepler-16b, the team, based in the University of Birmingham, plans to conduct future research, continuing to search for circumbinary planets relying on the radial velocity method. The hope is that this can help to uncover a little more about how planets are formed. There isn't lots of information on hand regarding the formation of planets within circumbinary systems. Typically, planets are thought to be formed within the dust and gas surrounding young stars, an environment known as a protoplanetary disk, though we are not sure if this process is even possible within a circumbinary system. With there being two stars, this could interfere with the process as we know it. There is plenty of research for us to continue exploring, with new methods, new questions, and new objects of interest. We will never be finished exploring beyond our skies. Mysterious cosmic flashes pinpointed to a surprising location in space. Elusive flashes across the night sky have been spotted by scientists. These mysterious blasts of light have been recognized as fast radio bursts. With the use of radio telescopes, astronomers were able to find that these bursts occur within ancient stars. These fast radio bursts are extremely erratic and short-lived. First uncovered in 2007, they have been a marvel for astronomers since their discovery, only able to be spotted via radio telescopes. The energy released by a singular flash equals the energy the sun unleashes in an entire day. These bursts are random and all around, from all sorts of various galaxies. Hundreds of these flashes occur daily. Frans Christen and Kenzie Nemo, scientists from Astron in the Netherlands, have assembled a team to try and analyze this phenomenon deeper. Through their research in January of 2020, they discovered that a constant origin of these flashes is in the Ursa Major constellation. According to Kirsten, we wanted to look for clues to the burst's origins. Using many radio telescopes together, we knew we could pinpoint the source's location in the sky with extreme precision. That gives the opportunity to see what the local neighborhood of a fast radio burst looks like. Cosmic measurements were taken by the EVN, European VLBI network telescopes, from various European countries such as Germany, Sweden, Latvia, and Poland, as well as others. Once they finally gathered the results, they were shocked to find the location of the radio flashes was the one place they never anticipated, in the close-by galaxy of Messier 81, known more commonly as M81, which lies an estimated 12 million light-years away, making it the closest known source of these radio bursts to our little blue planet. Furthermore, M81 has the globular cluster, which is a huge grouping of archaic stars. Nemo stated, "It's amazing to find fast radio bursts from a globular cluster. This is a place in space where you only find old stars. Further out in the universe, fast radio bursts have been found in places where stars are much younger. This had to be something else. The leading theory is that magnetars dense remains of supernovae that are highly magnetic are the main sources of galactic radio bursts." Jason Hessels of the University of Amsterdam and part of the Astron Radio Burst project claims,
We expect magnetars to be shiny and new, and definitely not surrounded by old stars. So if what we're looking at here really is a magnetar, then it can't have been formed from a young star exploding. There has to be another way. As such, the current belief is that the magnetar must have been created by a white dwarf once its mass became so great it caved in on itself. This theory is backed by Kirsten. Strange things happen in the multi-billion-year life of a tight cluster of stars. Here we think we're seeing a star with an unusual story. Not all stars become supernovas. Some, like our Sun, is going to and will develop into white dwarfs. These small yet dense cosmic objects shine bright, and there are many such stars in the ancient cluster. According to Mohit Bhardwaj of the Canadian McGill University, if one of the white dwarfs can catch enough extra mass from its companion, it can turn into an even denser star, known as a neutron star. That's a rare occurrence, but in a cluster of ancient stars, it's the simplest way of making fast radio bursts. This discovery might reshape how astronomers understand magnetars and stars. Further research into these radio bursts might unlock a myriad of new extraordinary findings.
In recent years, there have been reports of snake-shaped objects being spotted near the International Space Station. These sightings have sparked curiosity and debate among both scientists and the public, as people try to make sense of these strange and mysterious objects. The sightings of snake-shaped objects were first reported by astronauts on board the International Space Station. They described seeing long, sinuous objects moving through space, resembling giant snakes, and these objects seemed to be metallic and were reported to move with a strange and unsettling grace. While some skeptics have dismissed these sightings as nothing more than space debris or optical illusions, others have taken them more seriously. The snake-like shape of these objects is highly unusual, and their movements seem to defy explanation. There are a number of theories about what these snake-shaped objects could be. Some suggest that they are secret military craft designed for espionage or surveillance missions. Others speculate that they are advanced aircrafts or life, perhaps sent to Earth to observe or even communicate with humans. One of the most intriguing theories about these objects is that they are living beings, rather than machines or advanced crafts. Some scientists have suggested that the objects could be organic in nature, perhaps some form of space-dwelling serpent or other creature. While this theory may seem far-fetched, there is evidence to suggest that life can exist in the vacuum of space. Microbes and other forms of extremophile life have been found on the exterior of the ISS, and scientists have speculated that life could exist on other celestial bodies as well. Despite the fascination surrounding these sightings, the truth behind the objects remains elusive. Some experts believe that they may simply be a natural phenomenon caused by the interaction of solar winds and the Earth's magnetic field. Others believe that the sightings may be the result of technological glitches or anomalies, rather than actual physical objects in space. Whatever the case may be, the snake-shaped objects remain a tantalizing mystery, and one that will likely continue to captivate the public's imagination for years to come.
Mysterious giant bubbles discovered at the center of the Milky Way. There are many things that could be lurking unseen at the center of our Milky Way, so researchers are always prepared for new discoveries, but what they did not expect to find were mysterious bubbles. However, these were not the soap bubbles that children blow on Earth. This was a pair of enormous radio-emitting bubble-like structures that have been hiding in plain view right at the center of our galaxy. The two orbs are stacked on top of each other in such a way that they form a massive structure vaguely resembling an hourglass hanging at the heart of the Milky Way. In fact, they are so huge that they far surpass all other structures in the region, with each one measuring hundreds of light years in diameter. But what are they, and how could such large objects have been hiding in plain sight for all this time? Researchers were able to detect the strange bubbles at long last due to the radio waves they are emitting, which were picked up by a team using the South African Radio Astronomy Observatory Meerkat telescope, which is the largest science project in Africa. The bubbles had previously been hidden due to the overpowering nature of the radio emissions that already come from the center of the galaxy. but the powerful capabilities of the meerkat allowed researchers to filter through the dense radio dust in order to get a much clearer image of what can be found at the center of the Milky Way. They believe that such strange structures may be several million years old and might have appeared as the result of a powerful energetic burst occurring in the vicinity of the supermassive black hole that rests at the center of the Milky Way. Ian Hayward, lead author of the study, described these strange findings, stating, "The center of our galaxy is relatively calm when compared to other galaxies with very active central black holes. Even so, the Milky Way's central black hole can from time to time become uncharacteristically active, flaring up as it periodically devours massive clumps of dust and gas. It's possible that one such feeding frenzy triggered powerful outbursts that inflated this previously unseen feature. This area around the Milky Way's center has always been one of the most mysterious aspects of our galaxy due to the unusual amount of activity that occurs there, fueled by the black hole that drives many energetic processes within this region of the galaxy. Discovering elements of what lies within this strange, uncharted space can help researchers as they begin to pass through what exactly occurs at this point of the Milky Way. Although there are not many immediately forthcoming answers confirming how two such strange, enormous radio-emitting bubbles appeared, simply discovering their presence is enough to give researchers plenty of information to add to the growing body of theories surrounding the behaviors at the center of our galaxy. An invisible black hole has been found just outside the Milky Way galaxy. For the first time ever, a black hole has been detected outside of the borders of the Milky Way galaxy. It's a small inactive black hole that seems to have been hiding in plain sight. It's located in a satellite galaxy called the Large Magellanic Cloud, which is a close neighbor of the Milky Way. Part of what makes this black hole discovery a big deal is that it could help scientists discover more black holes like it, as well as give a better understanding of how black holes are formed. Black holes are definitely deceptive beings. Their enormous density creates an extreme gravitational field that stops even light from gaining enough velocity to escape. They are hidden by the darkness with no light shining that we can detect. They deviate from this darkness when they are actively consuming space material. The process is quite chaotic and causes X-ray radiation to form around the margins of the black hole. When black holes are inactive, they are pretty much invisible, and the way they are best detected in this phase is the intense amount of gravity, but only if you know how to search. When a stellar mass black hole, which is a black hole produced by the gravitational collapse of a star, is in a binary system with another star, the movement of the orbit of its partner moving around what looks like empty space is a possible indication of a black hole being present. That being said, not all empty spaces are black holes. This can make it tricky for scientists to call their findings definite. This particular team of researchers was composed of astronomer Thomas Schenner of Amsterdam University in the Netherlands, Karim El-Badri of the Harvard and Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, and Julia Bodensteiner of the European Southern Observatory. They have been meticulously debunking black hole discovery claims because the evidence has to be undisputable. For the last 2 years, this careful team has zeroed in their focus on the Tarantula Nebula in the Large Magellanic Cloud. This nebula is known for being a star nursery. Young, massive stars call it home. Around 1,000 of these baby stars were studied to see if the scientists could observe a wobble that would indicate a binary orbit. The binary that helped discover the black hole is believed to be one of many that can be researched to discover the patterns of black holes.
Mysterious radio bursts tacked to the arms of distant spiral galaxies. Fast radio bursts are one of the many elements of the infinite and mysterious expanse of space that scientists have spent decades trying to understand. These bursts are rapid and brief radio pulses that are emitted by a mysterious source and release enormous amounts of energy in a few milliseconds. In fact, some astronomers estimate that most fast radio bursts produce as much energy in a single millisecond as the sun produces in 3 days.
However, one of the reasons that they have remained so mysterious is because they are incredibly hard to track down. Although they emit an enormous amount of energy initially, the bright flares that they produce rapidly fade away and are barely visible by the time that they reach Earth. But, luckily for researchers, the Hubble Space Telescope may have just provided information that will allow scientists to begin to solve the mystery of what exactly fast radio bursts are. Recently, the telescope was able to locate the origins of 5 fast radio bursts, which were revealed to have been generated within the spiral arms of 5 distant galaxies. This allowed researchers to discard older theories that have proposed fast radio bursts might originate from star explosions or collisions between old neutron stars, which typically occur much further from galaxy arms. They were also able to throw out a third theory suggesting that fast radio bursts originated from dwarf galaxies, as the galactic infrastructure captured by the Hubble Space Telescope was not consistent with this theory. Rather, this location supports a much newer theory that suggests fast radio bursts could be produced by magnetars, an interesting type of neutron star. Magnetars produce an intense magnetic field, which is what could be generating these fast radio bursts that have puzzled scientists for so long. The new Hubble telescope images allowed astronomers to analyze characteristics of the galaxies that were producing the fast radio bursts in order to better understand the properties of the stars that were associated with this strange phenomenon. They combined ultraviolet and near-infrared light in order to gain an understanding of the mass of the galaxies, as well as the respective ages of the stars involved. And although this new information provides more support for the magnetar theory, much more research is still needed to definitively say once and for all how fast radio bursts are generated. However, these new images give us much more contextual information about what is happening at the source of these bursts, as well as the composition of the galaxies that are generating them. Alexandra Mannings, lead author of the study detailing these exciting new findings, said in a statement that the imaging allows us to get a better idea of the overall host galaxy properties, such as its mass and star formation rate, as well as probe what's happening right at the FRB. And, as the technology used to obtain these Hubble Space Telescope images has given rise to many new discoveries about the cosmos around us, astronomers hope that it will only be a matter of time before they can definitively determine what causes fast radio bursts once and for all. Powerful jets found shooting from an incredibly magnetic neutron star. One of the most interesting things about space is that most of the knowledge that we have are simply theories and hypotheses based on the data that we have gathered so far. This means that every now and then, scientists and astronomers are forced to reconsider previously held knowledge and ideas in the face of contradictory new evidence. In one such instance, researchers were dumbfounded when they observed something the likes of which had never been seen before. A massive beam, moving almost as fast as the speed of light, was seen shooting out from an extremely powerful neutron star, boasting an incredibly strong magnetic field that is over 10 trillion times stronger than our Sun's. Neutron stars are an interesting phenomenon, and are what is left over when a massive star runs out of fuel. As the star begins to collapse, their core creates a neutron, which essentially stops the final stages of the collapse, which would eventually lead to the creation of a black hole and leaves behind a neutron star instead. These stars boast an incredibly large density, resulting in powerful gravitational pulls almost as strong as black holes. So, when the Carl G. Jansky Very Large Array Radio Telescope captured the mystifying burst from the exceptionally powerful neutron star named Swift J024366124, astronomers were mystified. Although jets are not unheard of with neutron stars, previous theories claimed that neutron stars with strong magnetic fields would be unable to produce a jet like the one observed with the Jansky telescope. This means that current ideas surrounding the capabilities of neutron stars need to be reconsidered and reworked. As any good scientist would do, the team made sure to closely monitor the after effects of the star following the jet burst to begin to collect new information and data that might shed some light upon how this seemingly impossible phenomenon was able to occur. They carefully recorded the X-ray and radio emissions that followed the sudden jet burst to determine what might have caused the initial eruption. Currently, it seems that the neutron star has a nearby companion star that it is absorbing material from. This material, once attracted to the neutron star, condenses into a mass of orbiting flattened matter known as an accretion disk, which interacts with the strangely powerful magnetic field of the neutron star in order to spark the production of the jets at the star's poles. Although this is the current prevailing theory based on the immediate analysis of the after effects of the jet, there are other theories that could also explain why such an unexpected event occurred, including the stellar winds and shockwaves generated within the accretion disk. It is important to remember that these are simply preliminary theories that cannot yet be taken as fact. For now, scientists are intensely working to study other neutron stars in the hopes that they might be able to observe jets occurring under similar circumstances to further verify one of these new hypotheses. But what do you make of these recent discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.